So once you are communicating emotionally, you're leading a girl's emotion, she's liking you, she's enjoying the experience, now you need to take that somewhere, right? If you just like stay in one place in public, liking each other's company, nothing's going to happen. So you have to deal with logistics, you're going to have to deal with moving things forward, which means on a certain level, you are going to have to bring logic into it, okay? So again, primarily emotional, but you have to deal with a little bit of logic, i.e., we're going to go get in a taxi right now is a logical idea, right? That's not an emotional idea, it's a logical idea. But if anything, it can be emotional in the negative because she can have emotional associations with that thing, okay? Because there are stereotypes. So to the girl, saying we're going to get in the taxi right now may equate to her to, I feel like I'm going to have sex with you right now. And if she's not quite ready for sex, she may have a negative emotion towards that. Or we're going to go in a taxi right now may equate to her with, I'm going to take you somewhere far away from here. You don't know where we're going. You're not sure of it. You'd be lost and you're kind of at my mercy. So, you know, you're feeling kind of vulnerable. That could be a negative association. The point I'm getting at here is that certain ideas and specifically certain words will be what I call red flags for girls. There'll be things that will kind of throw her out of the emotional state because she'll start considering the logical consequences. And you want to be very careful about them. So I'm going to give you kind of a story for this one as well. And this is a story from a boot camp I did with Owen a long, long time ago. And he actually got into a cab with a student and two girls. And so they get in the taxi, student sits in front, Owen sits in the back with the two girls so that he can keep them in a good emotional state, right? You know, deal with her emotions first, not the logic. But he didn't know, like he didn't have a place to necessarily go to in New York. The student did, and he knew this. And so he told the student to tell the taxi where to go. He said, hey, tell the taxi where to go, right? And the girls were on board, they're down to go home with them, they're very positive, whatever. But the student at this point looks at him and says, so I'm telling him to go to our place, right? Or I'm telling him to go to my place, right? And the girls immediately freak out. They're like, no, we can't go to your place. We can't go to your place. Da, 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 da. Well, okay, pause. Where the hell did they think they were going, right? They already had agreed to go home with these guys. It's late at night. The clubs are closing. Where else are they going to go but the guy's place? It's obvious that's where they're going. But they don't want to hear the words, my place. Because that to them means I'm a little slutty. I agree to go home with you. Or that to them means I'm in a private place where if something happens, I can't call for help. Whatever the association in particular for that girl is, it's a negative association. And the words my place is a very common negative association. So anyway, it says my place, girls freak out. So Owen calms them down, gets it all going, gets them all good again. And then says, no, we're not going, we're just going to go chill. We'll hang out for a little bit. You guys are cool to hang out. And the girl's like, oh yeah, we're cool to hang out. We're cool to hang out. So Owen looks at the student in the front and says, okay, tell the taxi where to go. And the guy goes, oh, okay, cool. Looks at the taxi, gets confused for a second, looks back at Owen and goes, but I'm telling him to go to my place, right? And again, the girls freak out, go crazy, go nuts. We can't do that, we can't do that. Owen calms them down, takes a little longer this time. And he says, so we're going to go, this is okay, we're just going to go watch a movie. You guys like movies, right? The girl's like, hey, we can watch movies, totally cool. Right? Again, where do they think they're going to watch the movie? Obviously the dude's place, right? Where else? But they're cool with watching the movie. And so Owen looks up at the student and says, tell the guy an address. And the guy goes, oh, okay, I got it. He turns to the taxi driver. He turns back to Owen and goes, but wait, and tell him the address for my place, right? And the girl's like, pull over the taxi, and they get out. Okay, so what happened here? Everybody and their mother knew what was going on, but bringing it to their logical attention created a problem because could have been a variety of reasons. It made them feel unsafe, it made them feel slutty, etc. Now there are certain girls where if they were onto you, they liked you enough, you could get away with saying my place and it would be totally fine. But the problem is, it's just too big of a risk. Because the girls that are really on, that will go home with you even though you said my place, would also go home with you if you didn't say it. But the ones that are just kind of on, once you say this red flag word, it becomes a problem, okay? And there's lots of things that are red flag words. If you said, the worst would be let's go have sex, right? That's no, absolutely not, right? There's a reason in movies that the stereotype is, do you want to come up for a cup of coffee? Why do they say that? Everybody knows what come up for a cup of coffee means. But why do they say it? It's so that the girl doesn't seem slutty. It's so that if anybody was watching, she wouldn't seem slutty because, again, social approval is everything to the girl. And it's also so that the girl's self-perception, she doesn't have to view herself as slutty, right? Girl wants to have things go. It just happened. It was not her fault. So it's your job as a man while understanding what the girl wants, and she will tell you what she wants. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But it's your job to make it not her fault. It's your job to take the burden of responsibility off her shoulders so that she can, remember the Madonna-whore dichotomy, right? So that she can act in the way that her most sexual self wants to, a little whorish, right? But at the same time, she can maintain her self-image of being the sweet, innocent, high social standing Madonna. That's what the girl wants. And if you can help her solve that problem, she's going to love you for it. But if you throw that problem in her face, she's going to react very negatively. She's going to have bad emotions. It's going to really, really hurt your efforts with girls. So this is why it's so important to understand not just the words that are going on, but what is the emotional connotation of those words. And you need to avoid the red flag term.